with that, we welcome former Tennessee Titan, Cincinnati Bengal, New England Patriot, and Texas Longhorn, Bo Scaife, onto the show. Bo, it is a pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Fellas, what's going on?
Bo, you got to play with like two of the dopest color schemes. Like the Tennessee color scheme, and then that burnt orange too. You were blessed by the uniform gods in your football career.
Yeah. You know, these new kids, they got all the combinations though.
Yeah.
Kids got all the fresh combinations. You know, we just started like branching into that. You know, we were pretty traditional down in Texas, but you know, these new kids, they getting to play with all the different combinations. You know, you got KD throwing money at the school, he's sending fresh gear. So yeah, I wish I would love to redo.
Like a burnt orange pant, like an all burnt orange?
I would love to put a black jersey on. You know, like I would love to change the helmet up a little bit. I would love some of that chrome action, you know, that like Oregon gets to do and that type of stuff. I mean, even Florida, I mean, y'all look sweet in them all whites, man. Them all whites with the white helmet.
Yeah, hey, that's my favorite one right there, bro.
You know, that stuff is nice right there, man.
Jordan had that. I think that was one of the first times they had the white helmet.
Yeah.
And they went white, blue, white.
Sir.
That was a good combo.
Bo, what'd you think of the Gators swamp green jerseys a few years ago?
We don't need to do that.
I'm okay with those. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like the little change up, you know. And the thing with us, you know, when coach put those kind of color schemes in front of us, if we didn't play good, then we had to throw it out. So I don't remember if you guys won that game, but if you
never saw him again. Never seen him again.
Yeah.
Dude, them shit's out. They gotta go, Bo.
So, Bo, we want to talk about obviously Texas. You walked so Cam Rising could run. You were 6 years at the University of Texas, obviously then go and have a great NFL career with Tennessee Titans and Cincinnati Bengals. Talk to us a little bit about your story. How'd you end up in Texas, if I remember correctly, from Colorado area? So how'd you end up at Texas, and talk to us a little bit about, you know, that experience for you?
Well, you know, I was definitely one of those kids that was highly recruited. So, you know, that was a blessing in itself, you know, being able to be one of the top ranked players in the country, you know, coming out of high school with, you know, pretty much any school I wanted to go to on the plate. You know, it was a cool experience just to be able to, you know, get a chance to go see some of those big schools. So my top five was Ohio State, Michigan, you know, UCLA, Washington, and then Georgia, Texas. So those are my top 6 schools. And I just fell in love with Texas. You know, like Georgia was a little too far. Florida was a little too far. I didn't really want to go play in the cold in Michigan and Ohio State. But all those places probably would have worked out great. You know, I could have stayed home. There was a lot of pressure to stay home. But, you know, they were going through some trouble with the players around that time. You know, so my dad was not trying to send me up to Boulder. And he wanted me to, you know, leave the nest so I can grow some hair on my chest and, you know, and become a man. I went on my recruiting trip actually with Eli. It was me, Eli Manning, and Archie and my dad. So, you know, that year I did get to Texas. We had the #1 recruiting class in the country. Chris Sims had just flipped from Tennessee to go to Texas. We had the defensive player of the year from Houston. His name was Corey Redding. So we just had a lot of great guys going there. So it made the decision pretty easy. You know, actually one of your old coaches, Tim Brewster, was the guy that recruited me. So, I mean, he did a great job, and he's done a great job everywhere he goes to, you know, bring great players to wherever he's at. So, I mean, that's the recruiting guru right there and the recruiting king. So, it was easy. It was an easy decision, you know, with guys like him. And, of course, you know, Matt Brown was the icing on the cake, you know, one of the greatest coaches ever in the history of college football. Even now, you know, he's almost 80 years old, and he's still dancing around with the team. You know, he's evolving with the new rules and the new landscape of college football. And, you know, it's obvious that his players love playing for him. So it's like all the cards and the pieces lined up for me. And, you know, ultimately looking back, it was, you know, probably the greatest decision I ever made in my life.
Only because you didn't visit Florida?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what you got to think about when, you know, you choose a college. You know, what is going to happen, or what are you looking for after football? When you graduate, you know. And so, you know, when you compare the two, and, you know, I'm not throwing shots, but I think I would want to live in Austin, you know. And from a alumni standpoint, and I've gotten experience this just in my travels, internationally and across the world. Like Longhorn country and Longhorn Nation is really all over the world. I mean, I was on a safari in Africa, meeting like alumni and stuff like that. So it truly is a blessing. And yeah, man, but you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with those big schools, man. And you guys definitely have a great program, and you guys have produced some amazing athletes. And so, guys that are close friends of mine, the Freak, Andre Davis, Moss, all those guys. You guys got a great roster of guys that I have a ton of respect for.
Javon Curse might be in better shape now than when he was in the NFL.
Man,
he's wild.
And I don't think I've
been living in the gym.
A lot of guys transition, out of football, and they kind of, they get a little chubby and pudgy and stuff like that. And like you said, the Freak's never been that.
Mm-mm. Is it what's this like for you? You mentioned that you went on a visit with Eli. What's it like to see? I know it's not Eli's son, but C.A. Manning at Texas now. And I know he's not starting, but getting some reps when Quinn was hurt. I have a little more grade than you, but when he got to Texas, did you feel like, oh shoot, felt another grade pop in? Like this is I was here with his uncle.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome, to land, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And this school wants to do that. So, he was a hot commodity. Everybody was pulling at that chain. And, we're fortunate to grab him, and for him to be patient and, have the ability to sit on the bench and wait till his turn and really understand and enjoy the college experience. I got to respect that. Hard for a lot of kids that aren't, and that isn't Manning, like that. And, stature and everything that he has going on and that ability, he could easily been playing, last year's year before that somewhere else. So, props to him.
What's your overall feel for Sark and what he's got going on at Texas? You guys are playing overall good ball. You should make the playoff. Sark seems to have the ball rolling in every facet as far as recruiting, quarterback, offense. He's always had for offense in general. People want to see if he could put the whole thing together, and he seems to have it put together for a little bit. You got set as a football program, but what's your overall feel for Texas right now?
This is what we've been waiting on. I mean, you guys kind of experienced this a little bit. A lot of the big schools, we have that drought and that down period where like we can't get right for a while. And it's like, we running through coaches, Charlie Strong, Tom Herman, we got all this stuff going on. And I'm one of the guys that's definitely hard on coaches. So, even knowing Stark's background with what he had to overcome and, him getting another opportunity to be a head coach, which, the players don't get those second chances like the coaches do. So that's probably my little beef with a lot of the coaches. They get in trouble or they do something that is bad for a program and, they get fired, but then, they get hired by their buddy or something like that. And like the players never get those opportunities. So I'm really hard on the coaches like that. But I love Stark's story. Obviously life is humbling. So he was able to, be humbled through a situation at SC in Washington and, get back on his feet. And obviously, you get with Nick Saban, you're guaranteed something after that. And so he was over there with Saban and he built an amazing program and he got a great feel of the SEC and how to win in that championship culture. And you see that's what he is implementing at Texas. So I'm excited for him. He's a great guy. I've met him a couple of times and, I know the players love him. And that's the greatest representation of a head coach is how do his players and staff feel about him. We're all judged by our peers and everything we do. So I know the team, the staff, the Texas, country that they got a lot of respect for Stark, and we're excited to see what he continues to do. He's brought a lot of excitement, that we were missing out for the last, 5-10 years. And, we're just excited to see where we can go this year.
Well, I'm not going to lie. When that Tom Herman text message leaked that, okay, cool, hook him, I was like, oh, man, Texas got him one. Texas got him one. This guy doesn't care. All right, cool, hook him. I was like, ooh, they got it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I know Tom Herman was the GA my freshman year at Texas. So even his story, to be able to, rise up the ladder for that and stuff like that was pretty awesome. So, he got into a little altercation the other day at the end of the game. So I love seeing
USL.
all that stuff with the coaches. I love seeing the rivalries and those things, and the coaches have the fire and stuff like that, because that's what the game needs. It's an emotional game, and there's a lot of money and stuff on the line, and even more so now than there's ever been. There's so much more at stake now than there's ever been, especially with NIL, and they're trying to build up the programs and build up these rosters and build these rosters with the star athletes, the star high school kids, with the portal. So the job description and the ask has definitely changed for head coaches, which is why you see a Saban to step away and get on TV, man. It's less stress.
Let's get into this tech up a little bit. No, go ahead.
Real quick, before we get into the match, I got a question real quick. It seems, and maybe it's overblown, but it seems like Texas fans get very mad when people do the horns down, and Oklahoma loves doing it. And I told Texas fans, I was like, listen, it's going to hurt really bad when Vandy does it, and they don't really know football. They'll do it when they're down 20 just to do it. Does it really bother everyone, or is it just some people that it bothers? Because Gator fans have been dealing it forever, like the opponents chomping, doing stuff like that.
Yeah, so you guys get it. To me, that's respect. Like, what our signal is, and you have to disrespect our signal to make yourself feel good. Like the other day, some old ass dude, he's walking by me, he just real quick, right? And I'm like, what school did you go to even be doing that to me?
UTSA, probably. UTSA.
No, he went to A&M. So, like, listen, you already know he can go. He can get out there.
Weird. That's a weird place, man.
Yeah. Nobody puts the Colton agriculture like Texas A&M.
Yeah. Only 4 years, so you don't even count. Like,
you don't even get your ring.
Yeah, get the hell out of here, man. So, you gotta have fun with it. If someone's gonna throw a jab at me, just be ready for me to shoot back. That's all. I'm not the guy. How am I laughing that shit off? No, I'm coming right back with you.
Hey, you throw a jab at me, you better expect a hook or an uppercut. We're not trading jabs.
Yeah, you have to be ready. Listen.
Give him the hook him after.
We're not turning them down here tonight, Bo.
I appreciate that, y'all, because I'm calm right now, man. And I had the all pro, man. I'm calm right now, man. So yeah.
You got that all pro. Hey, shout out to before we get into the Texas game, man. Appreciate you, Bo. Went out to Colorado. We connected a few times, but I went out there to Colorado. Definitely going back this next year, 420. But just great hospitality. You're from Colorado. I went out there, me and my brother, a couple other friends, and it was all love, man. So shout out to you, and just I appreciate the love, man. It's a lot to me. Thanks for even showing up to the show today, man.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, I think that changed Silk. He saw mountains. He got that fresh air. That trip he took a couple of years back, he came back a changed man.
Listen, this is what Deion's secret sauce. Right? This is Deion. This truly is Deion's secret sauce. Is getting kids out here to see the landscape and everything that Colorado has to offer. It's a beautiful place. It's sunny just as much as Florida. Obviously, we have winter, but even in the winter, it's still sunny, and the views are unbelievable. So as a kid,
beautiful, man.
You haven't left your neighborhood or something like that, and you go to a place like that is beautiful, and the town is beautiful, and you got a beloved college there. I mean, it's hard to turn down, man. So, that's really one of Deion's recruiting tools that he's definitely using, is just how beautiful Boulder is.
Yeah, Boulder.
You get kids from South Florida. Hills are when you're on the highway and it's an overpass. That's a hill. Yeah. And you show up, you land in Dallas or you land in Denver, and you're like, oh, that's an actual mountain.
That's a mountain. Yeah.
Denver's incredible, man. It's one of my favorites. One of my best friends lives in Westminster out there. But we had the chance to go out to Boulder last year. That was my first time in Boulder, and that's just a cool town. And I mean, I see it. I see why somebody would be attracted to it. So, Bo, to get back into the game, I know Corey, you kind of preluded it here. Talk to us a little bit about Texas. Obviously, the rabid Gator fans and college football fans have watched some of Texas, and, they know Arch Manning, they know Quinn Ewers, they know that you guys are still without your top 2 running backs entering this season too. But Give a fan that's maybe a more casual fan, just kind of the rundown on Texas, on offense, on defense.
We are a younger team that's benefited from the portal and has benefited from a great transition and foundation set by Sark. We cannot overlook his time at Alabama and the impact that he had on the kids there, where they trusted him enough when he wanted to leave and go somewhere else that they wanted to go there with him. So, that's number one. Obviously, Texas is, it's an awesome place, and, we're going to attract recruits naturally, but really having that star coach and that 5-star coach that we brought in with Sark and him being able to relate to the players and then the support of the boosters and the fans, is second to none. So we don't have a problem really getting there. I mean, you see them they got Lambos in front of the stadium, man. I mean, they're definitely passing the eye test with the students, the players, and the parents. So those are some of the big keys that obviously allow us to bring in the top players. Obviously our team is led by yours. He's had a pretty good year so far. Obviously, he fell a little short in the Georgia game, but I think our success lies in him, and he has a great understanding of the offense and what Sark wants to accomplish. So I think he's grown a whole lot under Sark. I don't know if that would have been the case with just any coach. So I really think that's a credit to Sark. They have also done a great job, obviously, stacking our O-line. We haven't played as consistently as we wanted to, but everyone knows you got to protect your quarterback if you got a good quarterback. You guys have to deal with the same thing. So time you have a good quarterback, then they've done a great job just filling in the skill players around, running back, receivers. We got a great tight end and Gunnar Helm, who's from Colorado. And then that scheme allows us to spread that ball around. So we're using all those guys. You don't want to bring a bunch of great players to a school and you can't find a way to get them the ball, which is why kids leave right now. That's why everyone jumps in the portal, because they're not getting the reps or the touches or the things that they feel like they deserve. So I think Sark does a great job spreading the ball around and getting Quinn to understand that. On the defense, I mean, we fly around. We got a great linebacking core. Our D-line is pretty relentless. And those are things that we've struggled with the last couple of years, is like stopping the run. Our secondary has been getting torched. So, the back end is probably our biggest improvement on defense. We got some young guys that just fly around. We're hitting, we're physical. So this is probably the most physical team that I've seen Texas put on the field in literally the last 10 years. And they're a well-composed and disciplined team too. Obviously, we saw the letdown in, at Georgia, which, no offense, guys, that probably is the thing that's going to hurt you guys the most this week, is the letdown after the big game. It's so hard to get these kids fired up again, and they're going to be fired up, but sometimes it just doesn't translate, like you wanted to. And that was the thing that happened to us in Georgia. These are mistakes that we normally don't make, like things that you aren't accustomed to doing. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that, from your guys, just, from such an emotional and big game this past week with Georgia. You guys, that's a huge rivalry game for you guys. So, this is our first time playing you guys. We're going to be pumped up. We're fresh off a bye. So, that can either work in our favor or,
y'all got a bye too? Oh, we about to get
yeah.
down.
We got some bad bye luck this year. Before the other guys ask questions, I know they have a bunch. What's the weakness of the team? I know you guys are.
Can you tell us how Florida will beat Texas? If you could just give that blueprint,
especially
we'll
with a walk-on quarterback that just transferred from Yale. Go ahead.
It's going to be, similar game plan to what George did. You got to get after the passer. Like he was flustered that game, and he wasn't able to get the ball and get his feet set and just get calm and get in the rhythm. And that's how you disrupt good offenses is, you knock them off their cadence. You don't let them get the ball off their star players, and you're physical up front. Those games are won in the trenches. And, that's exactly what Georgia's did. They punched us in the mouth and we just never recovered. So, any game where you want to slow down the game in a situation like this for you guys, that's what you guys got to do. You got to come out and punch us in the mouth, cause some turnovers, get some mayhem going and stir up stuff. And, then your offense has to come in and score some points. Obviously, that's the most important thing at the end of the day is, 4 points. So if you guys struggle with that, then it might be a long day, man. Even if you do,
That's where it gets tricky.
I mean,
That's
you
where it
guys
gets
are
tricky.
20.
And make sure that the direct deposit hits the referees on Friday night so they can have a nice dinner.
yeah,
It's an early morning game. Don't drink too much, but do enjoy the payment to the referees. See if the check doesn't bounce.
yeah.
I got a
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I was just gonna say,
You good?
I know you obviously watched the Georgia versus Texas game. I was gonna say, how do you feel if and when y'all do run into them again in the playoffs? How do you feel about that next game playing against Georgia? You feel confident? You feel iffy? How's it feeling?
It's hard to beat somebody twice, especially
100%.
So I think obviously the leg goes up to us, but if you don't come out and play and you don't establish the line, you can't lose the same way that you lost the first time. So the challenge is going to be on the trenches, for us. And don't think those guys don't have it in their mind. These are young kids still, so it's hard to get over. They don't have that maturity to just kind of leave that stuff behind, especially if you played a bad game and mental errors and you're getting beat and stuff like that. Which online, like I said, this is the worst game they played since they've been a unit. So obviously the camaraderie has been built, since that game. The more games you play together, the stronger the unit gets.
Right.
Coaching will be better second time around. You got a taste of what that game was like. So obviously you got to learn from that experience. And then I think they'll be ready. I think I wasn't super impressed with Georgia's offense or the quarterback, and I'm sure you guys aren't either. I mean,
Same.
they're good.
Yeah.
Guys had a chance right there to beat them if you guys can score some points and make a big play towards the end of the game. And so no team is what they used to be in the SEC. It's just not the case anymore. Everyone can be beaten on any given day. And, they say that, and that's cliche in football, but like that is truly the case now. Like,
For sure.
Vanderbilt is never supposed to beat or nothing like that. You're not. And
They're really not.
that's where we're at now, where you don't show up and you leave somebody a little bit of room to breathe and you don't put them to sleep. Every team has a few guys that can make a few plays on anybody. So everyone's a threat.
Yeah.
What's Texas fans overall feel in the SEC? Like, I know y'all, like, after the Georgia game, we've seen a lot of disarray with the vibes. But what's your overall feel of being in the SEC now, and just like what's the feel of Texas fan base in this league now?
I think they've been excited for it. Everyone wants to come in and be the big dog. So, we heard a lot. We heard all the chirps. We heard, all the hate from, the SEC fans and, everybody, y'all not going to be ready to do this, whoop to whoop. This is all fan talk. And, you guys have earned the right to talk that in that conference. But I think everybody was surprised with, how we came out. As far as the fan base, I mean, we traveled everywhere. This is one of the, richest, football programs in the country. So you're gonna see everything big when Texas is around and stuff like that. So, next year I think we play you guys there next year. So I mean, you'll see for yourself, how Texas fans show up and stuff like that. They're not worried about money. We ain't worried about what shit costs. We gonna pull.
So we all see the price of gas. We know you're not worried about money over in the great state of Texas.
Big bank take little bank over there, man.
we see oil prices. Nobody's worried. They're building new buildings in Texas.
They really are. It's unbelievable, like the stuff that they've added, man, and just it's like they don't have a budget. They don't have a budget.
They're like Richie Rich in blank check.
They're fun coupons, you know what I mean?
Fun coupons.
The entire state of Texas very well and doing very well in this NIL era because like Texas got money in football, not just college, like high school, anything to do with football. Texas dropping that.
Texas has money in baseball. That's if the Bo will tell you. Texas alumni base, their fan base,
like all of it,
love baseball.
Yeah.
Well, how did it feel good?
I think this game
real quick. So before we get into the game more, when Texas A&M left. They've got that kind of like little brother syndrome with y'all. When they left and got to the SEC, I know they were chirping. Is it a little gratifying to like show up and be like, "Hey, man, good to see you again"?
It is, and it's like we're the guy that walked in the party like, damn, they here. We was hoping you to see, him at that party.
What?
We gonna come. We coming and we taking all your girls. That's exactly how they feel. The little they're gonna be nerded out, and then as soon as Texans walk in the party, we clean. We got the fresh gear on. We got the nice. I'm leaving it like, oh, cool. I've been waiting for y'all to get here. Where y'all been at? That's how it is with A&M in Texas.
Are you looking forward to that game again?
Yeah. I mean, listen. What's exciting about it is, it's always, Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, and stuff like that. So, it has such a family setting because obviously you're spending the Thanksgiving with your teammates and stuff like that. Kyle Field is an awesome place to play at. They be doing the little swing and all that type of, the little bromances they got over there. They be doing all that. You love going to all the places that are loud and shutting people up. I mean, I think that's the most gratifying thing as a player is to walk into somebody's house, whoop their ass, you tell everyone to shut the hell up, and then you get to go about your business, with their girls. Like I said, girls is coming too.
Boy, he's taking everything.
But Bo's not leaving a single napkin on the floor when he leaves the party. I'm taking that too.
Oh, yeah.
Man. I like it.
Yeah, we got a Texas boy at our quarterback, man. I think this game is a different game if we got DJ Lagway playing. Unfortunately, I think we're doing a little gamesmanship. I know there's Billy saying that we play, but I think Texas just, 20-point favorites, and rightfully so. But I do think if he plays, I do think we win last game, Georgia, and then this matchup is totally different. And he just brings a different threat to any defense, that deep ball. But with a walk-on quarterback going out to Texas, big letdown out the rivalry, like you said, it just doesn't, bode well for us, man. I'm just hoping we get out of there in one piece.
Here's what I'll say, Silk. And these coaches get paid a lot of money. Coach. You're not supposed to be favored every game. You're not going to be favored every game. So just like they demand more out of the players, we got to demand more out of them. Dial up some shit.
You're right.
Facts.
And so if your team is bad and consistently bad and you have a bad product on the field, I'm never going to blame the players. I am not, especially in college.
Preach.
Because they have full control and they build the culture in college. So, one thing that really frustrates me about, college sports and professional sports, and you see it a lot in football, is these guys are getting fired because they weren't producing in their role. So OC, DC, whatever the position is. Then he's going to get hired for the same shit he just got fired for. So tell me why in the hell it's going to work this time, and what are you doing different for it to work this time that you weren't doing? So, the coaches got to step up on this side, and you got to take chances. If you're not the more talented team, then you got to take some risk. You got to have fun with the game plan. You got to let it loose, man. Walk on quarterback, whatever you got to go let it loose. And I think the players rally around that more than anything. Don't come in there with that conservative stuff and stuff like that.
Come on,
and
bro.
We're going to be conservative and we're going to try to do this and we got to be patient. No, that's what we want you to do. We want you to do that. So the coaches got to come out there with that attack mindset and let your nuts hang. That's what they got to do, and let the players see that, and they're gonna rally around that more than anything, in my opinion.
No, that's real.
To your point, Cliff Kingsbury got fired at Texas Tech and hired as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. They also get paid a lot of money to stop showing up to work when they get fired once they get one of these jobs too. So I'm with you. I'm not putting it on a 19-year-old kid.
Look at Jimbo Fisher right now. Jimbo Fisher right now he chilling. He watching every game on a damn yacht right now.
Bo, you'd never see me again.
Right.
They gave him King Tut's actual gold from the tomb to stop showing up to work.
King Tut, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'd be gone.
It's the greatest job.
Almost try to get fired. Like everybody keep making these threats at Norvell out in Florida State. His buyout $65 million. Like I'd be trying. Like please fire me, bro.
You'd be doing everything he's doing right now.
You can't get fired.
Yes.
You can't get fired for a cause. You got to show up to work on time. But then just kick your feet up.
Mad we beat Cal. Like, dang, we won a game. Come on, man. I want to take a vacation. Stop doing this, guys.
My Outlook calendar is just full of private meetings all day, in and out. Oh man.
Well, what can Gator fans expect? DKR, it looks like a great atmosphere. I've never been. What can Gator fans expect just from a game day experience in Austin?
Man, tailgating life. I mean, you guys are used to it down there, but I mean, tailgate life is amazing. And there's so much things that have been created in Austin, restaurants, food, liquor, whatever. And everything's on display around the stadium. So, I mean, you get to literally walk and it's like a farmer's market almost, like when you just get to try so much bomb-ass stuff, like.
Yeah.
So, the best thing I would advise Gator fans is just enjoy the atmosphere, have as much fun, don't worry too much about the game, and just enjoy that shit. This is going to be a great experience regardless. Like, it's just going to be a fun day in the morning. You get to go home after and chill and hang out and watch the rest of the game. So it's going to be loud for sure. Hopefully it's a little cooled off, but you guys ain't, you guys aren't worried about heat like a lot of teams are. So, that's obviously to your advantage. We love for teams who aren't used to heat to come to Texas and stuff like that because they can't deal with it. So
the tone you said that in, don't worry about the game, sounded like a father whose son fumbled the ball and they lost the game, and you're just like patting Florida fans on the back, being like, listen, man, there's next year, there's next week maybe.
Just have a good time, guys.
Yeah. We're just out here we just hope both teams have fun, right? You know what I mean? Did you
try your have orange slices for you after the game? They said they were going to give you orange slices.
Listen, and we are
my son's team.
Like we are true. We're not the rabid fans that are talking stuff, and we ain't gonna party with y'all or let y'all in. Like we bring people into our family, and we are a great host when it comes to these kind of games and stuff like that. So. I've never really heard a bunch of fans just talking about they had the worst experience ever when they went to DKR because everyone truly is really hospitable.
You probably get what you put out. And if you're putting out something, you're going to get that back.
Yeah, you're going to get a horn down. You might get.
Yeah.
Texas brisket is undefeated. So if you are a Gator fan listening to this and you are going to the game, find you some brisket. I don't care if it comes from a gas station. I think a gas station can make.
I was just going to ask you, Bo. That was my question. Sorry to interrupt, Corey. For those that have maybe never been to Austin, it's been a long time, right? I mean, even in the time that I've been going to Austin, every time I go, there's like 15 new high rises in the air. Obviously, everybody knows like Terry Black's and Franklin's Barbecue, Salt Lick, a little bit outside of town. Everybody knows the Dirty Sixth Street. Everybody knows. Well, maybe some people know about Rainy Street now. Where are some places that Gator fans that are coming into town should go and should know about Austin?
That domain area is really up and coming. They've kind of duplicated everything that they built downtown. But I mean, you want to be downtown. I mean, that's where everything's at. You want to go get the tacos in the morning. You want to go get the breakfast tacos. Get you some Bloody Marys. Start off right, and then just. It's like you got to start early and then get in your groove and pace your stuff throughout the day, because everything is so good. Like the experience is so good. It's like you don't want it to end, So even if you are a little disappointed, you're still going to go have fun after the game.
Celebrating a win, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. The game.
Of course.
Shout out my boy Vince Young. He has an amazing restaurant down there, Vince Young Steakhouse. So, I mean, if you're looking for some upscale stuff, like that's the place to go right there. I mean, amazing everything. They got the Invincible Margarita. That's my favorite. I drink about 5 to 10 of those every time I go.
I like that range.
What do you mean by invincible?
5 to 10.
Invincible, like you drink it fast? Like why is it invisible?
Oh, invincible.
Invincible. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, I missed it. Pun on. Yeah, okay. Very well played.
Yeah.
I missed it. One time I went to Texas, to Austin. We went to Franklin's and we got tipped off. Like we had to have somebody go there and basically camp out to get in line.
Yeah.
But it was a bachelor party and we got pounds of brisket, ribs, beef ribs. It looks like a dinosaur bone, that beef rib.
Yeah, vegan options out there?
Unreal. Yeah. No, you need to find Christ again. Find Christ and start eating some meat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vegan options at Franklin's Bar. Yeah, they have some collards that have bacon.
Yeah.
Colorado's big on steak as well. You like there's just everywhere like steak. You in the steak vicinity, either Colorado or Texas, man. Big time. I know you got a hard out in a little minute, so I don't want to hold you too long, man. Our fans should be coming to Texas in peace. We shouldn't go out there making a whole lot of noise. We're gonna be very polite in your establishment, you know.
Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Put the toilet seat down. You know.
Yeah. See a good game. We want to see big plays. We want to see big hits. So, I don't want to see. I don't want to see no blowout. No one wants to see a blowout. I want to see a good, hard-fought, close game. So,
we're gonna celebrate. If it's not a blowout, our fan base is gonna celebrate. We more victory you right now. So, we're gonna pop champagne.
I don't believe in no 20 point spread at all.
I think Texas will cover.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay. More victory, you.
I appreciate that enthusiasm and that support.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah,
Thank you for your kindness at the end.
That means a lot to us, means a lot to our fan base, because I don't think any of us right now are expecting a close one. I think our defense will play well, but I think our offense is going to struggle moving the ball through the air a little bit. But
you got to run. We have one last question for you.
Oh, yeah.
It became a meme. Is Texas back?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, we definitely back. There ain't no question about it, and we just keep loading up too. We're reloading right now. So I'm excited about it. I know the fans are excited about it. And, like I said, you got to think about who we got, coming off the bench next year. He going to be ready, and he got some chest hair now, and he got the facial hair coming in.
All that.
It's gonna be a whole different dude now. When it's just him, oh yeah, he gonna go ham.
I love it, man. Well, Bo, we appreciate your time today. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Congrats on all your successes. Do you want to plug what you're doing now? I know that you've got some entrepreneurial stuff that you're doing over there in Colorado. I want to make sure we plug that, but certainly appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, man. I know cannabis is on the ballot for Florida, so I hope you guys get here this year, man. But if you don't, and you come out to Colorado, make sure you stop and get you some All Pro. It's on a lot of the dispensaries, local dispensaries. We actually just got a flagship store that we're opening here in the spring, so the official All Pro store is coming through. So yeah, it's going down, man. AllProFarms.com, and listen, light one for your boy.
All right, man.
We appreciate it, Bo. Thanks so much for your time, brother. Best of luck with everything.
All right, fellas.